You're listening to The Moose and the Loose, your 10 minutes action-packed financial podcast with your host, Mike Yahoo. Hey, what's up, Market Moose? Mike from The Moose on the Loose. I hope you had an amazing weekend. Spring is coming up. I know it's not spring yet, but in my mind, I'm just hoping that I can run on asphalt. I mean, I know it's crazy, but it just keeps on like snowing and snowing and snowing. So I'm just thinking, oh, we are finally getting there. And at this point, you're probably going to open your garage door and say, oh my God, like it's spring, it's time to do a big cleanup. I'm going to open the garage door and I'm say, oh my God, there are so many boxes and stuff. And I just stuff just like piling up. And then you thought everything was clean in your garage. And then you're probably going to think the same way that I do is you're going to go out, you're going to look outside. It's going to be like bright and sunny, going to have like the birds and stuff and say, you know what? I'm just going to take a walk, close that door, and everything's going to be fine. If you know me, you know that I love this analogy between managing your portfolio and taking care of a garage. Or it could be like a room in your basement. That could be the same thing, like you're just like piling up stuff in your basement. So when you open your garage door, you should clean it up. You know that it's messy. There are like some stuff that should not even was there, or like you probably think, well, there's probably an elf that is putting like boxes there while you're sleeping. But because there are no emergency, you don't necessarily need that space. Same thing with your basement. Well, you just close that door, go for a walk, and think about everything else. You're thinking that everything's going to be fine, right? And the reason why you do this is probably because you don't know where to start. And you don't see the point of starting today anyway to clean up your garage because there's nothing wrong. There, like the fire is not burning somewhere, and everything is going well. So it's similar to your portfolio. We've been through almost an uninterrupted bull market since 2009. I mean, we got like small drops in 2018, 2020, and 2022, but that was not enough to tell us that something wrong is going to happen, right? I mean, by the time that you started to worry, the market was already going up. So what happened during those long bull markets? Well, you probably amass a long list of useless stuff in your portfolio. Same thing as you amass the same useless stuff in your garage. So imagine, going back to your garage, that you actually forgot that you left a piece of meat that is rotting in your garage. And that's not at the very bottom, like in a dark corner. You don't even see it. But at one point, your garage is going to be infested by rats, right? And I know, I'm sorry to be disgusting and thinking about like a piece of meat rotting and then having like 100 rats roaming around your house. But I had to grab your attention about this because this is the type of emergency that is going to happen. And once you realize this with your portfolio, it's probably going to be too late. You probably don't feel the emergency yet. I mean, the market is not going up too much these days, but it's not like a heavy correction yet. So you don't see that like smell of rotting meat somewhere in your portfolio. And you may want to just do nothing, but that will lead to a lot of losses and a lot of rats eating up your profit and taking care of your portfolio a way that you don't want. So I know the fire is not burning right now in your face. You don't see the flame, but probably that the smoke is starting to come up. Here's a good example of like what could happen with your portfolio. Maybe throughout time, you started adding like great companies, but like one and a second one and a third one and a fourth one in the same industry. So exactly copycats of like same companies, and you're just like, I like cooking, so it would be like opening your cabinet and select sea salt, pink salt, lava salt, kosher salt, Celtic salt, smoke salt, and a pinch of fleur de sel, just to like add that to your recipe? Well, what's going to happen with your portfolio if you have all that kind of salts, right? Nothing. It's just going to be saltier, right? So you're not adding any diversification, but you keep on adding a lot of stocks that will get hurt the same way if we have a market crash. And here's the thing about market crash. Yes, they impact the entire market, so there's no place to hide, but they always start somewhere. They always start in a specific industry. Just think about the financial crisis of 2008. American banks got it hard, so hard, like a lot of bankruptcies, a lot of like bailouts, a lot of dividend cuts, a lot of like companies that took forever to recover. So if you were heavily invested in US banks, well, that's what was waiting for you. Of course, you're Canadian like me, so probably that you're not you're not overweight into US banks, but maybe it could be Canadian banks or pipelines or telcos or I don't know what else. But having the same type of business in your portfolio, if there's a crash, like a crisis in that industry, that's going to be very hard for you to recover from this. It's going to take forever. You're going to suffer from portfolio losses. You're going to suffer also from dividend cuts. You don't want that. Another reason why you should clean up your portfolio is over time, you have so many pieces that you don't even follow. So you follow so many stocks that you don't follow a single one. You're always thinking, oh, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, those were great companies and everything's going to be fine. Well, you know what's that has not been fine as of late? A lot of companies, like a lot of like big, great companies, like over the past 5 years, BCE went down by 48%, just the stock price, not counting dividend, of course. Walgreens, the largest pharmacy in the US. I mean, it's like crazy, right? Down 80%. Algonquin Power, AQN, I've been burned by this one, but now it's down 67%. Intel, like world-class chip maker, down 61%. So just to show you that if you do not monitor your holdings, at one point you may have bought high-quality companies that are seriously hurting and eventually it's going to crash your portfolio. You don't want that either, but if you don't follow them, you're not even going to realize that you have those companies, and then at one point you're just goes like, oh my God, it's like it's a lost cause. It burned my portfolio. And then you're going to be thinking, oh, if I don't sell, I don't lose money. Well, do you really think, and actually kind of ironic, but last week I saw that the news that Walgreens is going back private. So yes, my friend, you didn't sell, you're down 80%, and now it's going back private. So you're forced to sell, and then boom, the 80% loss is actually a reality. Not just to talk about opportunity cost. If you hold Algonquin for the next, I don't know, 10 years and wait until it recovers, maybe it's going to recover, but you would have hold this one for like 15 years maybe to get your money back. Imagine if you had invested somewhere else. Maybe it would have done a little bit better than being dead money for 15 years. So again, another great reason to clean up your portfolio. Now, cleaning up your portfolio is not that easy. I get that you don't want to sell your losers, you don't want to sell your winners, you want to keep all those stocks, you don't know where to start. Well, my friend, this is where I have a webinar this week to provide you with actually the 6 risks. We discuss about 2 of them today. 6 risks, sorry, that was off, for not cleaning up your portfolio, and 5 steps to quickly sell and keep the right one. So sell the bad stocks, keep the right one, build a stronger portfolio, get rid of paralysis by analysis. You just have to sign up for the webinar for free. moosemarkets.com/webinar. So moosemarkets.com/webinar. If you register, you're going to receive the replay for free. You don't have to do anything else. You just have to register to the webinar. And if you cannot attend to the live event, you're all good. If you attend to the live event, I will host a Q&A for about an hour after the presentation. So you can ask all kind of questions. I'll be there. It's just the fun, like the best part of the month is when I do those webinars. So moosemarkets.com/webinar, how to clean up your portfolio so it's not looking like your garage. It is the right time to do it right now since we're still not in a market correction. All right, Moose, that's enough for today. We're going to talk again tomorrow. And until then, don't forget to stay invested.
Hey, welcome to the disclaimer. If you're listening to The Moose on the Loose, you cannot really expect me to give you buy or sell recommendation or financial advice, right? You're here for fun, you're here for information and some entertainment. But I am not your financial advisor, I am not your broker, so therefore I'm not liable if you're losing money after listening to the podcast. If you're looking for some advice, go see a professional. If not, you can enjoy the show and do your due diligence after it.